Hello and welcome back to Science Year 4 Unit 1 Teeth and Digestion Unit Tutorial, and this is video part 2. My name is Megan Latchford and I'm a Design Lead at Art Curriculum Plus for Primary Science, History and Geography. This video will explain how you can adapt the lessons within this unit to support and stretch your pupils and what to prepare to teach the unit. A great resource to use to adapt pupil activities in this unit is the online ebook workbook. To access the ebook workbook for this unit, you need to log into Oxford OWL, select the year group and subject you want, and the first resource on the list is the ebook. This is an online copy of an exact pupil workbook. You can use the arrows to scroll through the pages, and you can find all the units for Year 4 within this ebook, just like in the physical copy. Select the activity you want to adapt by using the snipping tool and highlighting that section. You may already be familiar with the snipping tool, but if not, it's a tool that allows you to copy something from your screen and paste it somewhere else. You can access it by searching in the toolbar or by pressing Windows Shift S simultaneously. Then you hold down, click, and drag the highlighted rectangle over the area or activity you want to copy, in this case from the ebook workbook. You can now press Paste, and that section will be pasted onto the document you want. Sometimes you may find Word works best, sometimes perhaps Publisher. I like to use Word when I want to draw something onto the activity to support pupils, like in this example here. Every lesson starts with a knowledge quiz except for lesson 1, and they can be implemented in a variety of ways which entirely depends on what works best for your class. They are an important step to check for understanding and address for any misconceptions, so try not to miss them out. We have found from teacher feedback that most teachers teach these quizzes with pupils sat at desks, independently answering the questions. And this is great if this works for your pupils, and keep doing if so. But there are other options if you feel this isn't the best method for your class. You could read through the questions and options as a whole class and go through each question and answer one by one, breaking it down into bite-sized chunks. In Key Stage 1, pupils may have been using carpet time to answer the questions, which you could also do in Year 4 by showing a number on their hands. For example, 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the answers displayed here. To keep track of answers this way, you could keep a record of the general consensus the class has come to, or even make a note in the workbook you've kept aside as a teacher copy. As the year progresses, you may wish to make these knowledge quizzes more independent. But the aim of the knowledge quiz is to assess the new learning from the previous lesson, and you can adapt this in any method which suits your class. Now I'm going to talk through how you can adapt activities in the pupil workbook. We don't have time to go through every activity in this unit, so I have selected 1 or 2 from each lesson. The adaptations we look at here are suggestions, and you should use what works best for your pupils. But hopefully this is a useful starting point for you and will start a bank of adaptation ideas. So in this lesson, pupils need to complete the sentences by adding a number. And you could support by adding circles to the number line. And here, I've really supported pupils by colour coordinating the empty spaces to their matching number. This works well as the difficulty level increases as A has the number circled, whereas B and C are circled approximately. To take away this extra level of support, you could have the 3 numbers circled in one colour only. For the diagram, you could colour in a tooth as an example, and this could be done for all 4 types or just one as a model. And then for extra support, you could label the teeth either in black or go one step further and match the colours to the key, as you can see here. Stretch pupils by asking them to complete a more challenging question, such as draw and label each type of human tooth, then explain what they're for. For this activity, pupils should write what they know about each part of the tooth on the line. To support pupils, using the answer slide, you could create answer labels that pupils could sort and stick in. You could even take this a step further and highlight the key information in the labels, or have some already stuck in to allow more time for pupils to focus on the rest of the task. To stretch pupils, ask them to complete a challenge activity. At the end of this lesson, pupils are asked to create a poster, so you could ask pupils to use that poster to create a speech or presentation on how to look after your teeth. This activity involves an investigation, and for certain pupils, you may find that for investigations, you want the focus to be on the investigation and not the writing. Here, you could print a completed sheet on top of this page. You could print word boxes for pupils to stick into the correct sections, or you could work through the section as a whole class or with a small group. Instead of asking pupils to draw difficult equipment in the box, you could have a photo already stuck in so pupils could label it. Stretch pupils by asking them to answer a challenging question, either verbally or as a written response, such as, do you look after your teeth? And how could you look after them even better? For lesson 4, you can see there is a reading section and a retrieval activity underneath where pupils fill in a table using that reading text. For all reading sections, not just this one, to support pupils, you could highlight key sections of the text. And here you can see I've actually even colour coordinated certain parts of the text to match them together. Then, using this key information, you could create answer boxes to be sorted and stuck in. But another option could be to partially complete the activity, either with pupils writing answers from the text or still using the boxes to be stuck in, to allow pupils more time to be successful. You could stretch pupils by asking a challenging question such as, which animal do you think might have similar teeth to humans and why? For lesson 5, there are many ways of adapting these activities. You could add starting letters for either all of the labels or just some. You could print the labels for pupils to sort and stick in instead of write. For the write task, you could partially complete the activity to give pupils more time to be successful. And another option again is to highlight the key information, and this time in the activity itself. To stretch pupils, you could ask them to complete a challenging activity such as writing a paragraph to describe food's journey through the body and what happens at each stage. For lesson 6, pupils complete another investigation, and here they need to draw the equipment and label each part. As suggested in lesson 2, for these sorts of activities, again depending entirely on the pupil, you could have a photo already stuck into books with arrows pointing from each piece of equipment. However, you could remove these arrows if this was too much of a support. If you needed to give more support, you could create and print labels of the equipment for pupils to stick in. You can stretch pupils by asking them to complete a challenge activity such as write a set of instructions for someone else on how to complete this investigation. Every lesson finishes with 2 exit questions. These are not in books and are done as a class. Pupils should use their fingers, like we suggested as an option for the knowledge quizzes, to answer. And you can see here as support, I have added in the pictures of the fingers next to each option. Besides reading through the unit resources before you begin teaching, for every unit there are elements that will need to be planned in advance by the class teacher. You could plan an engaging hook. You could look at a model, create some art, or watch a video. You may need to print off additional resources. Not every lesson will have these, so make sure you check before you teach. And you'll need to gather resources for specific lessons, such as lessons with investigations, and check for this using the unit planning guide. Hopefully you now feel super confident about accessing and teaching this unit. Any questions, please send them to primarymastery@artcurriculumplus.org.uk, and we welcome all feedback to ensure these resources are as supportive as possible going forward.